Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we're going to try to put the cold winter weather behind us and think about spring. We'll check in with Kip Millikin, our housing inspector. He's got some great tips for you to think about as you enter that spring cleaning mode. We'll also check in at the Vandalia Recreation Center, where a unique spring fitness program is underway, incorporating some fantasy baseball. But our first stop today is right here along North Dixie Drive, where a major project is underway that over the summer will have this busy road closed. That's right, over a 6-week period this summer, North Dixie Drive will be closed at West Alkaline Springs Road so that an underground culvert can be replaced. Public Works Manager Rob Cron says the culvert in question has just outlived its effectiveness.
It's a fairly large culvert that carries the Poplar Creek underneath Dixie Drive. We're going to be installing a 12 by 5 box culvert, replacing the existing culvert in there that's failing in places now. We've actually had some sinkholes, and it could cause quite a hazard if it got bigger.
With an underground culvert, you really have few options in replacing it. The only way to do it is to dig up the old one and put the new one in. And with the old one running underneath North Dixie Drive, the road closure is unavoidable.
We know the road closure on Dixie is going to be a major inconvenience for the traveling public. We're trying to make all preparations we can to make it go as smooth as possible. We've limited the time it can be closed. We've built some incentives into the project for the contractor to get done early. There will be a detour route advertised and posted, which will actually take people over to Helke Road. Will be the route around Dixie, so it should be well known what the route's going to be, and we're actually going to be installing a temporary traffic signal down at Helke Road and Stone Quarry to help with the traffic flow there.
To get started on the project, crews have been on the scene since mid-February, digging out the area on the east side and moving utility lines so that the equipment can get in and get out. To put all the pieces in place, crews have already closed one road.
We have Alkaline Springs West closed right now for a short section. It will be closed for the duration of the project. They're beginning across the street on the east side of Dixie, the downstream end of the culvert. They are excavating right now to begin removal of the old culvert. They have some of the downstream work done. They have the gabion baskets and some riprap installed, which will be at the outlet of the culvert. But so they're getting underway right now.
With the big closure taking place in June, work crews will work through the spring, cleaning out the areas that need open for the big dig. And spring cleaning is also on the mind of Vandalia's housing inspector, who says giving your home the once-over after this year's rough winter is a very good idea.
Yeah, that's a good time to go out and actually see what kind of damage might occur during the winter. Maybe some ice dams on your gutters, maybe your gutters pulled loose, they need reattached, or maybe even replace some gutters. This is a good time to get out there, inspect your windows, inspect your air conditioning unit, debris that's been maybe piled up against it from the wind and the snow. Get that all cleared off and raked back.
Kip Millikin says that this time of the year it makes a lot of sense to get rid of bushes and other growth before the leaves come in. And if you can get it cleaned up before April, you can toss that yard waste right in your trash can. Once we're into April, though, you'll have to put that waste into special bags.
Rumpke will take it. It must be placed in a bag, the paper bag, and you can purchase those bags at Ken's Pharmacy here in Vandalia.
Spring cleaning also applies to places in your home where things can pile up, like your garage or your basement. Millikin says each spring the same questions seem to pop up.
What am I going to do with those paint cans that sat out there in that garage all winter long? Paint thinners, what am I going to do with this? It's it's got some age on it and I want to get rid of this. You can take it, those type of materials to the Montgomery County Solid Waste on Webster Street every Tuesday between 8 and 2. They will accept the household hazardous waste.
Finally, some folks use the spring to replace large household items, begging the question, what do we do with the old one?
If you have that larger item, such as a refrigerator in the garage or a couch that you'd like to get rid of, give Rumpke a call. They will take it, but give them 72 hours notice prior to them picking it up. And just give Rumpke a call and they'll be able to work you through it.
Millikin says that following these simple tips will have you facing the summer months with a less cluttered house. And while we're talking about this summer, the Vandalia Division of Fire is planning some special block parties to try to get out an important safety message. Fire Chief Chad Follick says they've identified a segment of the community that appears more vulnerable to fire accidents.
The Division of Fire has noticed that in the last 3 years, our multiple family dwellings, our apartment buildings, have been the largest consumer of our fire service in the city. About 32% of our regular fire and EMS service is consumed by multiple family dwelling occupants. One of the things that's concerned us is that we've had over $1 million of loss in 3 years in multiple family dwellings. We've had 10 injuries, 1 fatality.
Follick says these multifamily dwellings could benefit from some additional attention on the fire prevention front. So they're planning an outreach program that will touch the most populated apartment complexes.
As a part of our goals for 2011, the Division of Fire is planning to actually host 3 individual block parties, one in the Timberlake Cedar Brook area, one in the South Brown School apartment area, which is actually going to probably be a pool party type of deal, and one most likely in the Imperial Court Dixie Drive area.
Chief Follick says his team will go into these block parties with 3 primary messages.
We've had an alarming number of fires without operating smoke detectors, both in residential settings and in multiple family dwelling settings. So that is that's one focus message.
Another message will focus on fire escape planning, which entails emphasizing the importance of getting out of a structure that's on fire and establishing a meeting place to make sure everyone is safe.
Our third message is just general fire safety in those occupancies. It's a unique setting for those occupants, for those residents, because they could do everything right and they're still at the mercy of their neighbor. So our philosophy is that if we can get their neighbors to act more responsibly and them to act more responsibly, we can increase safety in those multiple family dwellings with a large percentage.
The parties will also include representation from the Division of Police and the Department of Development and Engineering Services, all dedicated to making sure that folks who live in multifamily homes are safe.
And we've partnered now with our Division of Police. We've partnered now with our developmental services, our building inspectors and housing inspectors, and we believe that the first step in this process is to meet with the property owners and the landlords and/or the property managers to discuss some of our concerns and see if we can partner with them to make living in those much more safer, much more enjoyable, as they do represent a large demographic of the city.
Follick says their message is targeted for everyone that lives in the apartment settings, but he knows it's the younger ears that will carry that message forward.
We've taken a very, very proactive stance when it comes to kids' safety. So this is another kids' safety project. We find that the kids in our Passport to Safety program, our Stop, Drop, and Roll program are the best messengers of our safety message, because they listen, they're interested, they're engaged, they go back to their home and they try to get mom and dad safer. So that's what we really focused on. We've taken that proactive step to really address them, and that's really the reason why we're looking at the block party concept. Going to be a lot of fun games, a lot of games that are tied to safety messages, prizes, and things like that. So
we'll have more on these important safety programs as we get a little closer to the summer. Summer is also a key focal point for the folks at the Vandalia Recreation Center, who attract kids by the dozens for the Cruising with Kids camp. Facility manager Mindy Weaver says they're already in the planning stages for this year's program.
It's our summer camp program. It runs for 11 weeks during the summer. It's for kids in grades 1st through 6th grade for the next school year. We do all kinds of activities. They go swimming, they do the climbing wall. We have arts and crafts, games in the gym. We take field trips each week.
Parents appreciate the staffing the Cruising with Kids camp uses, which are generally college students with an interest in education.
A lot of the camp staff are interested in education or have some desire to go into an area with kids that are working at our staff at our camp, we do have wide hours as far as we open up at 7 in the morning and we run until 6, and we've got staff here the entire time to cover the full day.
If the Cruising with Kids camp sounds like something your child might be interested in, you'll want to register early.
We do registration here at the Rec Center. Resident registration will start on April 20th, and then we'll have open registration on April 22nd. For the weekly enrollments, we require a 1-day deposit fee, which then if you come to camp, it's applied towards that week. Or daily registration, you just come in with the days that you want to register for the summer and do the payment that day.
And we'll stay at the Recreation Center for our last stop of the day, where a unique fitness contest is underway. The spring training program is the brainchild of Brandy Williams, and it offers two-person teams the chance to compete for prizes while also getting in shape.
When you get your buddy, you make up a team name, and then you go over to the fitness desk and you get your own baseball diamond. It's on a sheet of paper. And then when you come into the workout here at the rec center, it's for a 30-minute workout, you get to draw what we call a play card. And on the play card, it's like a single, double, triple, home run, strikeout. And it moves you and your player, your teammate around the bases as you play spring training. And so you're trying to accumulate as many runs as possible. So obviously the more you work out, the more you play, the more you can win.
Williams says the key component of the program is the fact that two-person teams compete, which adds a little peer pressure to the fitness equation.
The hardest part is always getting here to actually do the workout. And that's what's great about the buddy system. You know, it's easy to back out on yourself, but it's a lot harder to back out on your buddy. When your buddy says, hey man, I was there at 6 o'clock in the morning, where were you? You know, kind of gives you a little extra push to make sure you get your workout in.
If you'd like more information on any of the programs offered here at the Vandalia Recreation Center, your best bet is to make a stop at our website, vandaliaohio.org. Click on the Parks and Recreation tab and you'll have access to the Parks and Recreation Guide, rules and regulation, and any associated costs with the programs. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.